Hello everyone, today we're going to be going over the best level 90 gear for life, both healing and damage sets. Not really too much is changing with level 90, but we do have a few upgrades. The hat is going to stay the same, but we can compare it to the Hades gear. It is a little worse, in my opinion. I don't really care too much for the increase in crit. This is just the pure crit set. So let me actually pull up the immediate upgrade. It is right here actually. Since this has 9 damage, this is supposed to be like the immediate upgrade to Waterworks gear. However, this damage goes down significantly, so I don't know if I'd really recommend going for the hat. So that's why I really just say keep the Crown of the System. It's a really good hat. It'll keep you till level 100 for Darkmoor gear. But as far as that goes, yeah, we just keep the hat. Moving on to the robe, I say you just keep the robe also. This is actually the upgrade to Waterworks right here, the Armor of a Sorrowful Life. And then there's also this one that's going to be the supposed to be more like the crit set, but they actually have the same amount. So out of the two, if you really wanted to go for one, and let's say you didn't get the Robe of the Sistrum, go for the Armor of a Sorrowful Life because it is the direct upgrade to Waterworks gear. I mean, you can kind of really just compare the two. I mean, you're losing out on 6 damage, you're doubling your crit, you're gaining block, gaining resist and power pip. So that's really, if you wanted to make that change, go ahead, but I still suggest going with the robes of the Sistrum. For the boots, this is the one that I actually was not able to get, and I'm a little tilted. I put 15 runs in Hades and still didn't get the boots. Um, but the true number one boot for level 90 is going to be the Hades Walkers of a Sorrowful Life. It's going to increase your health, your pip's going to stay the same, you're going to get some accuracy, your block is going to double, your damage stays the same, resist stays the same, and then you get some pierce along with it. Just to show you, yeah, right there. 6 resist. The block basically doubles. 8 power pip. So realistically for the boots, you don't have to go for Hades boots. Just do your 2 runs, get out. As for the true number one, it's actually a pack item, so I realistically don't want to recommend it. But it is the Melinda's boots from the Professor's Horde pack. It's gonna give you more resist, more damage. It's gonna be crit, so it's gonna be more offensive than defensive. You're gonna get accuracy and power pip as well as health. So it is the true number one to the Waterworks boots. But again, the only reason why I put this in is because it is the true number one. But as far as free to play, go for the Hades Walkers of a Sorrowful Life. On to the wand. We're gonna keep the Skyrim Hosta. It's a great wand. Just keep it to level 100. From then, just go to the Moros. And realistically, you can also go for the pack wand, but again, don't recommend it. It's just 2 more damage, crit, and block, and it's going to be replaced in 10 levels. So not really recommended, but the Malistaire from the Spiral Villains Horde pack is the best for level 90. Again, don't recommend it, but that is the best. For the Athame, this is the one where we actually have a clear-cut winner. That's going to be the Blade of the Fell Titan. 15 damage, 15 block, 17 power pip. It's just all around the best. This one drops from Kronos in Tartarus, the secret boss. Just get this. This is great. Even if you have it on another character, you can transfer it over to the amulet. Now, this is the one that I also wish I would have gotten when farming Hades. And that's going to be, let's actually pull it up. A little suspense. Older players, you probably already know what this is going to be. It is the Amulet of Divine Influence. This is the best level 90 amulet, and maybe even the best amulet past then. People still could be using this. This is one of the rarest items in the game, And if you ever see someone with the Amulet of Divine Influence, give them like a little nod, give them some respect because they earned it. This thing has a really low drop rate. I'm talking people have done hundreds of runs and never gotten this. It's no trade, so even if you did get it on one character, you won't be able to trade it. Um, but I mean, look at the stats: 200 health, 30 block, or actually 30 crit, sorry, 45 block, 3 resist, and 3 pierce. This doesn't really matter, you're not going to use that. But this is insane. And since they got rid of the old Morganth amulets, this is essentially better than that now. So the Amulet of Divine is the best amulet for level 90. If you're lucky enough to get this, because it is a 1% drop rate, maybe even lower than that. Um, I've personally only seen one person actually in game with this. So, you know, this is some rare stuff. If you ever get this, consider yourself lucky. Do I recommend farming for this? Not really. Just if oh, we got disconnected too. Hold up. I will be right back. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, so the amulet that I do recommend if you don't get divine is just go to the bazaar, get yourself either this one or any one that gives either a feint or a life blade and some health. That's that's good enough. Just go for that. At Darkmoor, there is going to be a Pierce and Crit amulet that you're going to go for, and that's actually debatable to be the best amulet for even level 160. So just if you don't get Divine, again, 1% drop rate, don't lose sleep over it, just grab this. Or if you already have it, just keep it. It's perfectly fine. So let's move on to the ring. This is another clear-cut winner. Alpha and Omega ring. Now the only, if you didn't want to farm for this, which is actually really easy to get, it's dropped by Gladiator, the secret boss in Mount Olympus. Pretty easy to get this. You can even solo it. And this is the only other ring I possibly could recommend. They both have 10 damage, and I mean 14 power pip versus 13. Truly, just go for Alpha and Omega. You can still use this even past level 100. This is actually going to be the best ring for level 100. I think there might be a Malastare ring that might be better, but or actually no, I think the Morganth ring might actually be better since they reworked all that. But yeah, for level 90, Alpha and Omega ring is going to be your best ring. This could be if you have this and you don't want to farm, just keep this. It's fine. As far as the pet, we're going to be trying to phase out the triple double and go for a quint damage. A triple double is still viable and it's still going to be viable until about level 130, and then the quint damage clearly takes over as the favorite. So if you start on that quint damage right now, you're gonna be absolutely ready whenever that time comes. But yeah, the triple double is still gonna be okay, but quint damage will be preferred. And then onto the deck. This deck, level 83, it gives you health. Is it the best? No, there actually is a crafted one. And when I tell you this thing is not worth it, it gives like 20 extra health, but it actually takes up amber to craft and braided vines. So these are very expensive reagents. I would not recommend crafting it by any means. However, that is the best. It's just 20 extra HP, so just don't do it. Just get this one. It's a drop from Azteca. And then let's actually move on to the stats. The stats are gonna show a little bit lower than what they should be in terms of block, and then accuracy is gonna be +1. But as and the critical block is actually gonna be around 100 also. So besides that, this is gonna be true. It's gonna be 116 damage unless you have a quint, 40 resist, 4 accuracy, or 5 accuracy if you have the Hades boots, the 110 crit, and then around 100 block. Power pips is going to be at 88. So yeah, that's the damage set. Moving on to the healing set, we're going to start with the hat. And this one is actually going to be moving on. You can choose from either the Hades Helm of Retribution or the Poseidon Brim of. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. These other ones, we have the Senators, don't use that. And then we have the Zeus, also do not use that. So the Poseidon gives 10 outgoing, 105 crit. It then also gives 2 accuracy and 10 power pip, so that's really useful. The Hades gives 6 outgoing, 155 crit, 8% power pip, less health. So technically this would be best for healing since it would give you 10%. Let's go ahead and equip that. For the Robe, Hades Armor of Conscience. I think that's Conscience. We're going to go with it. This is 12% outgoing, which is actually kind of insane. So let's go ahead and put that on. Poseidon's right here. It actually doesn't give any. And then Senators also doesn't give any. I did not get the Zeus one, but it is also worse. Hades gives 12 outgoing and 77 crit, as well as 9 power pip. So you're going to be increasing your health, your power pip. The only downside to these sets is they do not give resist. So you're going to be pure healer here. As far as boots, you're going to go for the foot gear of the afterlife. Senators gives incoming. And then I do not have the Poseidon ones, but this is the healing boots. It's going to give you 10% outgoing healing, as well as the same 8% power pip. You are going to keep resist on this one though. So that is a good thing about these boots. For the wand, something that I actually figured out recently, the Sword of Kings is actually the best healing wand. 25% outgoing. That's actually insane. You can actually compare that to the Silver Order of the Spiral, and it actually gives less. The only difference is Silver Order of the Spiral gives 100 block, which is more useful. But for level 90, Sword of Kings is actually the best healing wand. The Athame, you can actually choose between two here. You can go with the Blade of the Fell Titan and actually socket on a Mending Jewel. I think, do I have one for level 90? I do. Level 95 gives 5%, and that's actually enough to overtake the Cosmic Chris. However, if you don't want to socket, just go with the Cosmic Chris. It's still good, 20% outgoing. Moving on to the Amulet. Same amulet, 2% outgoing. This one's from House of Scales. The ring, Stone of the Other Side. This is the best healing ring in the game. 33% outgoing healing, and then you can also sock it on a Mending Jewel. This technically has higher stats, but it doesn't have the option to give you a Mending Jewel. So this is why this is the best one in the game. 12% power pip, so you are losing power pip, but it's fine. You're getting 33 outgoing. Moving on to the pet, just make sure it has both the 8% and the 4%. And then I would highly recommend having the Proof and Defy. And on most healing pets, use Unicorn. And then you can also go for either Mend or Cycle of Life. On top of that, try and have one like a ward pet or something like that. In case you run into a boss that does not allow healing, you can have that ready to go. I have this one that has a Maycast Legion Shield. It also has Unicorn, so I wouldn't use this on one of those bosses. But if you can go for a Maycast Legion Shield and a Maycast Brace or Fortify, that would be perfectly acceptable also. And then we're going to keep the same deck. So let me actually equip Daisy here, and then we can check out our stats. Yeah, our resist is going to be really low. Don't count on tanking anything. Our accuracy is actually going to be pretty high. Especially for life, we're only going to have 4%. Damage, you don't got to worry about that. But look at that, 124% outgoing healing. That is insane for level 90. It's insane for level 100. Although for level 100, we do have other recommendations. You are going to have 200 crit also because of the hat, the Poseidon's hat. Um, the only downside, we have absolutely no block unless we're going against light. So in that case, you can change this to the Waterworks boots or the Hades boots, so that you do have the extra block. That's up to you. With 124 outgoing, you can actually heal way more than they're going to be able to do to you. And if your pet gets a little fluent, all the better. But as far as healing set, that's it. So we've gone through. I look so cheap right now. Uh, but I'm not going to stitch this because I do have better gear at level 100 that I will go over whenever I hit that mark. And I'll see you whenever we go over the level 100 gear. See ya.